Learn. Mark Twain once said, "A man who does not read good books has no advantage over a man who does not read them." I was talking about it in a conference, and one of the participants said, "Raj, you had to change that." He says, "Man who does not read good books has an advantage over one person, and that is the person who does read only newspapers." Now, coming to the point, learning is something that is a lifelong phenomenon. You just don't stop learning at school because of the fact that the schools can never catch up with reality. With so much going on in the world, as soon as the schools create a curriculum that they think is current, the world has moved on. So the only way you will succeed if you study only based on school is only in history, because that is what the curriculum was based on. Now, think about it this way. Go back 10 years ago, look at all the skills, abilities, and assets that you had. Would you be able to succeed with those skills and techniques that you learned 10 years ago in today's world? Probably not. Now, fast forward 10 years from now, would you be able to succeed with your current skills, techniques, abilities, and assets that you have 10 years from now? Probably not. So you really don't have an option but to continue to keep to learn. Here is the dilemma that most people have. They have to continue to execute the projects that they are working on flawlessly. They have to continue to exceed the expectations with the current skills and abilities that they have. But at the same time, in parallel, they have to go and learn new skills that may not be useful for today, but they will be useful only for tomorrow. So where is the time? You are always running behind schedules on projects. People are asking for more time. The projects are haywire. There are more projects that you are working on, but at the same time, you have to invest on learning skills that will be useful for tomorrow. So that leads me to the first statement that I wanted to make is, maybe you have to learn how to learn. There is the information overload that is not going to end. It will only worsen tomorrow. So it is you who can change and say, let me learn how to learn. Let me try to understand the way how to get all this information, process it, and still have a life that is meaningful. Let me give you a couple of examples. I use mind mapping, and it works really great to capture all my notes. And then can you imagine having everything about a book that I need in one single sheet of paper? I use music. There is Baroque music where there are documented studies which will say that if you use that music when you are learning, the learning effectiveness increases at least by 125%. So it's $20 a CD, and it's a steal. So let me give you two more points. These are the things that are not taught in school, but they are very important. One is learning to build long-term relationships. Everyone knows that long-term relationships are a huge competitive advantage, but they won't do anything to build it just because long-term relationships are just that. They take a long time to build. That means the return is over a long time horizon. You can't get to see anything tomorrow, but you will get to see it throughout your lifetime. The next one is learning to set the right expectations. Everybody says you have to exceed the expectations, but they forget that the first step in exceeding expectation comes when they set the expectations. They usually forget all the other commitments that they have made when they are making a promise, and when the time comes to deliver the promise, they feel overwhelmed because they have made so many promises without thinking whether they can deliver them or not. Thank you, and happy learning.